Hello, gentle viewers, and welcome to another episode of Alistair Reviews It. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will premiere on the 19th of March at 12:01 a.m. 12:01 a.m. Pacific Time and 03:01 a.m. Eastern Time. Here's what you need to know before watching. Unlike WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will have 6 episodes that will run approximately 40 to 60 minutes long. Also, while we followed the emotional and creative roller coaster that was WandaVision, from the trailers we can see that it's looking like there might be a much more straightforward action narrative for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I'm really hoping that we explore the trauma that these two characters have gone through. Because they did a very good job at exploring Wanda's trauma in WandaVision. And I'm hoping that similarly, but not the same, they can't take over a town and just, make it their therapy session. But similarly, these two characters are veterans who have a lot of trauma and they need to be able to face their own trauma. And it's also very interesting because they have a lot of trauma that may also be related to action and being in action and being active. And they're also going to be having to do those things in this show. So fair warning, the following discussion will have spoilers for Captain America, the First Avengers, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. So in the comics, Bucky was the kid sidekick to Captain America. He would follow him around and help battle Nazis and the Red Skull. But Bucky dies and then later comes back as the Winter Soldier decades after Captain America has mourned his death. In the MCU, Bucky, who is played by Sebastian Stan, is instead Steve Rogers' childhood best friend and protector. Steve emulates Bucky, and he looks up to him. After Steve receives the Super Soldier Serum and becomes Captain America, he saves Bucky from the Red Skull encampment where they were performing experiments on him. Steve Rogers, Bucky, and a band of misfits joins forces to defeat the Red Skull, but unfortunately, Bucky gets blasted out of a train. And although Steve believed that Bucky died, he didn't actually die. What happened is that he lost his arm, fell down, he was kidnapped, then Hydra took him. They replaced his arm with a titanium arm, kind of a mech kind of thing, gave him a super soldier serum, and then just made him a sleeper assassin called the Winter Soldier. Bucky is officially introduced as the Winter Soldier in Captain America and the Winter Soldier in 2014. He is sent to assassinate Director Fury, but instead crosses paths with his old pal, Steve. And Steve is hell-bent on stopping Bucky and getting Bucky to remember his past. And luckily, he seems to break through after he delivers some excellent lines. What is the line? Till the end of the line. The line is till the end of the line. But he starts to remember who he was. But then in Captain America Civil War, Bucky Barnes is framed for a terrorist attack. And at the signing of the Sokovia Accords, there is a bomb. And he is framed for that. He is hunted down by Tony Stark and his team. And then also by T'Challa, Black Panther. He is later exonerated and is taken to Wakanda to heal both physically and mentally. And the lead up to Infinity War, he's actually given a vibranium arm by T'Challa. And he is dusted later in the snap, and his last words are Steve, but then comes back to help the Avengers in Avengers Endgame. In the comics, Sam Wilson had a difficult upbringing in Harlem. His father was killed by a gang, and his mother was murdered by a mugger. His plane also crash lands on an island, and on this island, Red Skull is performing experiments, and they get him. They're doing some mind control stuff, but what happens is that the Falcon, Sam, is able to actually communicate with birds now. And he communicates with one specific bird too, called Redwing, therefore giving him the moniker the Falcon, which we don't actually see in the MCU. He is later kind of saved by Captain America when Captain America breaks his mind control, and he accompanies Captain America on several occasions to defeat the bad guys. In the MCU, Sam Wilson, who is played by Anthony Mackie, runs into Captain America. Guess where? On a run. He is a former Air Force paratrooper who now leads a support group for veterans. He meets, obviously, Captain America on the run, but they officially meet at the support group, and they bond and have an instant friendship over their own mutual traumas. And in Endgame, Captain America is actually seen leading a a support group as well, and I believe that was somewhat inspired by his friend Sam. Sam helps Captain America take down Hydra and also steals the Falcon suit kind of thing, which is later upgraded by Stark and helps track down Bucky. He becomes an official member of the Avengers at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, which I guess is now a spoiler for Avengers Age of Ultron. I should have mentioned that one too. Sam takes Captain America's side in Captain America Civil War and is imprisoned at the Avengers level prison, the Raft. He's later freed by Steve, and now they are both fugitives. He assists in the battle against Thanos, but just like Bucky, was snapped, but comes back to assist at the end of Endgame and receive the shining shield from Steve. So we last saw our heroes at the end of Avengers Endgame, where an older Steve Rogers gives Sam the Captain America shield while Bucky stands in the foreground. But it still doesn't make sense to me that Steve and Bucky didn't have an official goodbye at the end of this. It just did not make sense to me, except for the one moment that they have before Steve jumps to the past. There is no real official goodbye. If you want more thoughts on this scene, Steve and Bucky's friendship, and Stucky in general, check out my The Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer reaction and Stucky discussion video. I will link it down below. So the shield is passed from Steve Rogers to Sam Wilson, effectively laying down the mantle, giving him the mantle of Captain America. But is this what happens in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? The trailer seems to be indicating that Bucky and Sam have a very frictional relationship. There's definitely a lot of frustrations that come with their team up. And I think a lot of that frustration is the pressure that Steve put on them by taking himself out of the game. In the trailers that have been released leading up to The Falcon and Winter Soldier, we have seen the shield pass between Sam and Bucky, in an exercise that kind of mirrors the fight that Bucky and Steve had with Iron Man at the end of Captain America Civil War, and kind of represents the burden that Steve left on both of them. But we also see a figure who's dressed very similarly to Captain America, who is not Sam Wilson or Bucky Barnes or Steve Rogers. He is most likely John Walker, the American government's choice soldier to replace Captain America under the codename U.S. Agent, who is being played by Wyatt Russell. We see U.S. Agent run up on stage in the middle of what looks to be like a football halftime show, and he's carrying either the actual shield or a replica of the Captain America shield at the time. We also see the shield in a case, and I'm not sure if this is at a museum or possibly a memorial. And it's actually only used once during an action scene that we see from the trailers. There could be several reasons why the shield seems actually not there at all. One, the government has appropriated the shield. They've taken the shield back. Well, I guess not back. They've taken the shield. Or maybe Sam is trying to come to terms with his new responsibilities and hasn't officially taken up the shield yet. Either way, the shield and the symbolism of what it means to be Captain America is definitely at question in this series. U.S. Agent is supposed to be a Captain America who's not weighed down by the morals that Steve Rogers was weighed down by. He is a Captain America who takes orders. Steve Rogers has definitely shown in the past that when it comes to his moral compass and when it comes to taking orders, if those two things clash, he's always going to follow his moral compass. It can be reasoned that because Steve left the shield to Sam, that Sam also shares these similar values. While Bucky, who was a mind-controlled assassin and is still dealing with the trauma of being a mind-controlled assassin for over half a century, might still have some stuff to work through and might be slightly morally questionable. Who knows? So I was very excited to find out that Emily Van Camp was coming back to reprise her role as Agent Carter, because I thought that she was severely underutilized in the other Marvel movies. If you've seen her series Revenge, especially the first 2 seasons, she is excellent in that series, and they kind of, I think, gave her, they kind of pushed her aside, I feel like, in the MCU, and just made her an agent in Captain America's beard. So I'm excited to see her come back and hopefully like make more of a character out of this character. Agent Sharon Carter, who is played by Emily Van Camp, we just talked about that, will also be part of the Falcon and Winter Soldier cast. She's the niece of Peggy Carter, the famous founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain America's female love interest. Following in her aunt's footsteps, Agent Carter, codename Agent 13, became a skilled S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She later became a CIA agent after Captain America destroyed most of S.H.I.E.L.D./Hydra. But she may be a fugitive actually after returning Captain America's shield and the Falcon's Falcon suit, because she was not supposed to be giving them that. At that time, they were appropriated by the government, so she also might be a fugitive at this point. I'm very curious to find out. I'm very excited to see Emily Van Camp as Agent Carter kicking some butt in the series. Enter Helmut Zemo, whose family was killed during the Battle of Sokovia, and who, rightfully so, blamed the Avengers for their deaths. He is the main villain during Captain America Civil War, and pinned a terrorist attack on the Winter Soldier in order to just break the Avengers apart. But one good thing to note is that he also has control over the code book for the Winter Soldier, and this code book allows anybody who has it to mind control the Winter Soldier. So I'm curious if that's gonna be coming into play in the show. We last see him at the end of Captain America Civil War when T'Challa mercifully does not execute him, but no good deeds go unpunished. It looks like Zemo might be the big bad for this show and has actually adopted his comic book look. He may have also introduced the Thunderbolts, a superhero team to replace superheroes, but controlled by him. Could this be part of Zemo's plan to replace Earth's mightiest heroes? At the time, it looks like the U.S. government has not really accepted Steve's decision to give the mantle of Captain America to Sam, and have instead chosen to replace him with a very obedient U.S. soldier. This show will define Captain America's legacy and the future for superheroes on Earth. So Captain America's always advocated for superheroes to remain separate from the government so that they're able to quickly react to situations without like any of that political warfare that goes on. And Zemo has been against superheroes ever since the deaths of his family, and may have started a group to replace them. It's a new era for superheroes for sure. Zachary Garcia and I will be covering The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, similarly to how we covered WandaVision. We'll be doing our episode reviews the Saturday after the episode comes out. And we're also going to be doing a live stream watch along for the final episode on the 23rd of April, followed by an actual review for the final episode on the 24th of April. We've covered WandaVision. If you want to check out our WandaVision coverage, I'll put some links down below. I also cover a lot of sci-fi and fantasy books for this channel, so if you want to check out that content, please do so. Please like, subscribe, ding that bell, and I'll catch you guys next time. Adios, gentle viewers.